As we know, counselling and psychotherapy has been traditionally done face-to-face while you're sitting on a chair or a sofa, but things have changed, and obviously as of COVID, a lot of therapy moved online. A lot of companies do their therapy online now. Even after COVID, a lot of therapy is being done online, so that definitely has changed how things are done. And those might be the two most common things that you know about the different ways therapy is done. But today I'm going to show you all the different ways that therapy can be done outside of face-to-face and online. So like I said, we're going to start with face-to-face because it's the most well known, and this is great. It definitely does help. I think it definitely allows you to get the best out of therapy because you've got body language, you can see each other face-to-face, and you're able to connect more with your therapist, in my opinion. To some extent, I guess it depends on what you're there for, but especially certain types of therapy require you to be face-to-face. If you're doing like somatic therapy, which is like to do with body and body movement and body feeling, that definitely needs to be done face-to-face. And sometimes CBT as well, where you have to do exposure therapy and stuff like that, then yeah, some of it definitely does need face-to-face. So I think face-to-face will always be a winner, but I think it doesn't help people who might have social anxiety and really struggle with social anxiety. I guess this is where online therapy comes in. So at number 2, we've got online therapy via Zoom, Google Teams, whatever you use, you name it. A lot of places now use online therapy, and I've done my therapy online as well as face-to-face. And my new placement that I'm starting on Monday 10th of April, so should by the time this video comes out I probably would have already started, all of it is online. I'm going to be seeing my clients online for the first time, and it's very different obviously to face-to-face because my first placement I've been doing it face-to-face, so I might do a video on that if you'd like me to. So like I said, online has its advantages as well. It saves commute time, travel time and money. It also might help people who have a lot of social anxiety and are scared to go outside, and even for people who have accessibility or physical disabilities that prevent them from being able to go outside and move around a lot freely. Online therapy is perfect, and it helps so many more people access therapy that normally wouldn't be able to access therapy. So in that way, it helps therapy to be more inclusive for sure. At number 3, you might not know, but you can actually have therapy over the phone. Yes, as in like I ring your phone and we have a therapy session for 50 minutes on the phone. Yes, the same way that people were able to maintain long distance relationships and friendships with people overseas before FaceTime and video calls came in, you can still develop relationships over the phone with your client as a therapist using phones. Of course, I think it does add a barrier because you can't see someone's face, so you might be wondering, what do they look like? You can only hear the voice and you're trying to make an image of this person naturally that you can't see. It's natural to want to try and fill in the gaps, but I think it's very possible and it's still very helpful. There's somebody on my course who has telephone therapy with her clients for placement, and of course I think it's good for therapists to be able to try different modes of therapy because it means that more people can access therapy. And like I said before, for people who maybe have really bad social anxiety, that's even worse, and don't want to or can't use video call, this is also a really good option. And I know some people really struggle with the idea of, oh, I'm going to share all my stuff with a stranger. Phone calls can really help create that mystery and anonymous vibe for you, so you can share with somebody that doesn't even know what you look like. So even if you were to walk past them in the street, you wouldn't know each other because you've only heard each other's voices. So it can definitely help if you're somebody who feels like, oh, I can't go to a stranger and share my problems. But with this, they won't know what you look like. They'll only know your name and your life story, but nothing else. At number 4, we have text services. Like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I think there's a service called Shout. Like I said, I don't think it's run by professional counselors and therapists, but it's volunteers who are trained to help and support you. So there are definitely some other text therapies available, so you can text your therapist. Various organizations do this. This I think might be helpful for people who might maybe live with an abusive partner or controlling partner who doesn't allow them to get help. Texting might be the only way they can communicate safely without getting in trouble or without any consequence. Text services are really, really good for people who don't want face-to-face, and I think it might even be a bit cheaper depending on who the service provider is. So this is also a really good option. If you didn't know about this, you can do that as well. Last but not least, you might be surprised to hear that yes, there's such a thing as email therapy. Yes, as in you get to just email your therapist back and forth for 50 minutes. Yes, so this is actually becoming a bit more common now, and I think this is really helpful for people who feel like they struggle with their words and they don't want the pressure of like speaking right away, and it helps you to gather your thoughts essentially. There's no rush, you can take your time. You've got the 15-minute gap to respond and to talk to your therapist, and you know, they'll be going back and forth with you. And also, I guess it helps that you have a record of all your sessions, because you can always go back to the emails and read things and, you know, refresh your memory about things that your therapist might have said that really helped you but you might have forgotten. So there's also a plus to that, and like I said, that helps with maintaining your identity and remaining anonymous. If you really want to, you can. So there's also that. So those are the 5 ways you can have therapy. Don't limit yourself to just face-to-face or online. If there are other avenues if those avenues don't work for you, then there are definitely others that are available to you. So I hope that helped. Feel free to watch my video on low-cost counselling services that are available in London. I also have another video on free counselling services in the UK. So feel free to watch that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.